Yeah, I don't think that if you go back and look at the history of all of this, it depends on the performer. Some talent come in right away, they float right to television. Some talent come in and they don't. And really what it comes down to is us giving them bits and pieces of opportunity. And I say this to everybody as they walk in the door for the most part. We're going to give you bits and pieces of opportunity. Where that opportunity goes depends on how the opportunity is taken advantage of. So, you bring in people like MSK with a thought in your mind of, hey, these guys are really good performers, but I don't know what they bring to the table of their television knowledge or performance. And when you're doing something like the Dusty Cup, it's easy to have in mind where you want to go, but to then tweak things over the weeks as opportunities change, right? You see somebody, you go, okay, they're not quite ready for that, we're going to move to this, or okay, they are ready for that, and you move them forward. Those two are sponges. I said this to them tonight when they were done. We give you bits and pieces of opportunity. You have knocked each opportunity out of the park. And that is not because, and this is not me putting the system over, but it's not because they knew it all walking in the door. They're sponges. Sometimes people get it. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they have the knowledge. Sometimes they don't. There are times when I've worked with talent that have come from other places and I've seen them on TV for years. And then the first time we work with them on television and you begin to talk to them about television production, they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. No one has ever told me any of that before. Could you start over? And like you realize, oh my God, like, wow, there really is no one has ever taught them this. They just kind of always ended up being in the right place at the right time. Or they just got lucky around how it was presented, or whatever that is. There's other times where you get people that come in and they're a blank slate to it, and then you tell them some stuff and they're like, okay, great, yeah, that makes total sense, and they've got it, and they never miss a beat. Sometimes it's easier to have a blank slate than it is somebody that's been doing it a certain way for 10 years, and then you tell them something different and they're like, oh, wow, boy, that would be so much better. But getting them to do it on live television is a different thing. So it truly depends on the performer. When they get in here, we begin to work with them. We see where they are. We start to do little things and bits and pieces with them in training and how they react to those things and how they are coached, and every bit of it lends to where they end up and how quickly they get used or not used. But I don't necessarily think the system has changed. If you go back through time, there have been people that have been, here for a long time trying to figure it out. And also, look, people walk in the door of a place that they've been trying to get to their whole life, somewhere in their mind. And people that with no knowledge of that can talk about it however they want. When they get here, how they react to that and how they handle it are two totally different things. And I spend sometimes a lot of time with performers that have been doing this for a long time going, I don't, man, do what you do. You're not giving me you. You're giving me some other version of you that isn't what we're looking for, and I'm trying to get them to a place. And then one day the light bulb goes off and they go like, oh, I get it, and they relax to it and they go back to being a performer. And I don't know if that's them having a certain expectation in their own heads, but it is what it is. It's evaluated per talent, and when they're ready to succeed, we let them succeed. When they're not, I don't want them to fail, and I don't want them to have stutter steps, so we try not to put it out there when it's not ready.